My ex-classmate mocked me, not knowing I'm the CEO of a 7,200 employee company. You're just a poor high school graduate. My wife is a beautiful secretary. Then his wife saw me. She started shaking in fear. Are you still unmarried? My spouse is a stunning secretary. You are a lowly high school graduate, and I live in a totally other world. My old classmate, John, started disparaging me as soon as we got back together after a 30-year separation. After high school, I was the only one among us unable to continue our education. I could see why he wanted to brag. He wanted to share the news of his stunning wife's professional accomplishment. I could have gone to a better high school than John. And wouldn't have had to start working right out of high school if my family hadn't been struggling financially. I was a loser in that regard. At that time, I noticed a woman in a blue suit coming back with food on her plate. I understand she must be John's renowned attractive secretary. Allow me to present you. This is Ashley, my wife. Gorgeous, isn't she? She might be deemed attractive, but her makeup was heavy. Ashley began to shake when she saw me. Michael Robinson is my name. This year I turned 45. I am the president of Robinson Construction, a 7,200-person corporation. After hearing this, one may assume that I've lived a life of privilege and distinction, but the truth is anything but privileged. It was an ongoing battle of resentment and adversity. My family didn't have much money. My mother was left to raise me alone after my father vanished shortly after I was born. I just remember my mother frying bread crust and oil. I don't remember ever having snacks. I would have most likely passed out on the way home from school if there hadn't been school meals. It's difficult to believe that a child in a developed nation like the US would experience continual hunger. Naturally, I turned to studying any time I had free time because I couldn't afford games. I consequently consistently finished at the top of my primary school class. I was favored by my professors, and I was able to forget about the struggles of poverty while I was in school. Even in high school, my grades were excellent, and I was respected by my peers. I took on leadership roles, serving as class president and student council president, leading a fulfilling school life. Everything changed towards the end of my sophomore year of high school when it was time to decide on a future path. Both my mother and my teacher had pained expressions on their faces. Despite having the grades to easily get into the top university in the state, our financial situation meant I couldn't pursue higher education. My mother tearfully pleaded with my teacher. Isn't there anything we can do? He loves studying and has good grades. It's too cruel to deprive him of the opportunity to study just because he was born into a poor family. My acquaintance, the president of a construction company, actively supports students who work hard through adversity. How about we trust Michael to him? He could work while taking distance education courses and earn a college degree. After hearing this, my mother pondered for a while. Construction, but I've heard it's a tough field. I doubt he'll have time to study leisurely with the daily grind. Continuing his studies seems impossible. It all depends on Michael's effort. It's tough and requires perseverance, but it's not impossible. The president is a passionate and upstanding person. Why not give it a try? Thanks to my teacher's encouragement, I ended up working for Robinson Construction. While everyone else went to college, I was branded a loser. At that point, there was one person who gleefully watched my life's downturn, John Smith. Since elementary school, he had always been my academic rival. John's mother was extremely keen on education, making him study all the time except for Christmas Day. During elementary school, I was also interested in playing around, so I couldn't always score perfect marks, making John the top student of the year. However, things changed in high school. Still harboring hopes for the future, I wanted to go to college and learn more. Once I started studying seriously, I quickly surpassed John, and throughout high school, I never relinquished my position as the top student. We even aspired to the same university, the one with the highest SAT scores in the state. You're aiming for the same college as me, but do you even have the money to attend and pay tuition? He hit a sore spot, and I was left speechless. This issue had always been buried deep within me. Telling my mother would only make her sad, and sharing it with other adults would only garner sympathy, nothing more. While everyone else took for granted their dreams of college life, for me, it was a distant, unattainable future. The only selfish request I made during that time was to at least let me take the entrance exams. That year I placed at the top of those exams, finally making peace with my situation. Thus, after graduating high school, John went on to college, and I started my career at Robinson Construction. The construction industry is a male-dominated field, where loud voices can be heard everywhere. As someone who was still clueless, I was trained on site by Jack Robinson, the president of Robinson. When I first joined the company, I rented a room in Jack's house, where I was allowed to live. I managed to secure time for study at night while working hard on my tasks. At that time, Jack's wife was pregnant, and they soon welcomed a new member to their family, a lovely girl named Sarah. Sarah became very attached to me, and whenever I was away for work, she would cry loudly, looking for me. Sarah really likes you, Michael. She won't stop crying even when her father holds her, but she smiles as soon as you pick her up. I gained experience with other carpenters on site. But eventually, I was told that I was better suited for office work such as calculations and design. I quickly learned to work on a computer, and became a valuable asset. In due course, I graduated from a correspondence university, feeling a sense of accomplishment. I decided not to pursue graduate school. By the time I was in my 30s, I started to be entrusted with important management roles in the company. Having someone who knows the field in charge can significantly change the flow of work. The voice of the site workers was better heard, and the management side could provide more detailed instructions. The company's performance improved significantly, the number of employees increased, and the company grew substantially. When I first joined, it was a medium-sized construction company, but now it has become a large corporation. At that time, Sarah had turned 18 and was growing up to be simply beautiful. We remained close, and Sarah developed romantic feelings for me. Eventually, my feelings for her evolved from seeing her as a reliable little sister to wanting to protect her at all costs.